Today I want to talk about successfully passing a buyer's inspection. Okay, so let me tell you what I'm talking about here. This particularly applies with rehabs. So what happens here is you buy a property, you do this big rehab on the property, sometimes a small rehab, but you renovate a property, and then you think you're all done, you put it up for sale, you get a buyer, you go back and forth, you agree on a price, and what's the buyer do? He orders a $300 or $400 inspection. Now, what happens when that takes place? So the inspector's job for $300 or $400 or whatever the price is, his job is to find things wrong with the property. That's what he's hired to do. So if he comes back and says, I couldn't find anything, this thing is in mint condition, no worries. Okay, the buyer's gonna feel like the inspection was not good, or that they were on the seller side, or that they wasted their money. Right? So an inspection will always find something wrong. It will find things wrong. If there's nothing that it can find, it will dig around. He will dig around until he finds something wrong to justify his fee. Okay, I'm just being realistic here. Nothing against inspectors. They got a hard job of finding things wrong with a property, but that's, in my experience, what happens. So here's what you need to do. And I've had this happen to me recently, actually. I've done hundreds of deals. I just had this deal where the buyer's inspector came out, they did their inspection, he found a laundry list of things wrong. 8 out of 10 of them were really small things that were blown out of proportion, did a big write-up on it, really simple things. Things like, a door handle a little loose, or, just things like that. There was a gap under the dishwasher, and a whole list of things. Most of them were really simple. They weren't a big deal, but what did it do? It scared away the buyer. The buyer didn't even give me an opportunity to correct any of the issues. They just wanted out of the contract. Here's the assumption a buyer will make when they get back that inspection report. If there's too many things on there, they will think, what else did this investor or rehabber, what else did they do that's covered up? It'll put that fear in their mind. So what do you need to do? You need to anticipate that there's going to be an inspection. Almost all buyers do an inspection. You need to anticipate that and prepare for it. So there's a lot of things that you just can't possibly find, even with the most detailed punch-out list. So here's what I recommend, here's what I do. I'll go ahead and hire my own inspection. I'll hire somebody, I won't tell them that it's just for my own personal use. I'll just hire an inspection. They'll come in there. I want them to find everything they possibly can. Okay? Then I'll take that inspection report and I'll actually take that to my punch list guy, or if I've got a builder or general contractor, I'll take it to them and I'll say, look, there's things on this list that are part of your original scope that you didn't do correctly, fix it. And I'm not making your final payment until you do fix it. And then they'll go in there and they'll clean that up. Or I'll go through it and I'll pick and choose things that I want to cover. I want to fix right away, especially things that might scare a buyer, like an electrical issue or something along those lines, or a leaky faucet or whatever. I'll go through that list then, and at least now I've got no surprises, because there's always surprises. There's always things that you didn't see that an inspection report will find. On this last one, there were some window latches that weren't operating correctly. Made a big deal about that. Things like that a really good inspection will find all those things. They'll spend a couple hours. They know exactly what to look for. I had my water heater, it was missing the downpipe. Really simple thing to do, but it comes up on an inspection report. Too many of those things will scare a buyer. So by preempting that, you actually get that report done. It's going to cost you $400, but it is such good peace of mind to know all of the remaining issues with your property, and there always are. It's just how it is. There's always things that you missed or that come up that you didn't know about or whatever. It's a great way to catch things that your original contractors didn't. So as soon as my contractors are done, my builder or my general contractor or whatever, I'll order that inspection, I'll have it done, I'll get it back. They include pictures and a description. It's great. I'll hand that to them. I'll say, you need to take care of these items. If I wait too long and I pay everybody, then I'm going to be stuck making those repairs myself, or hiring that back, not making it myself, but hiring it back out to get done. But again, better to know and decide on what you're going to fix and take care of beforehand. And I'll tell you another quick tip is, I don't want to take care of everything. I do want to have a few things. I'll leave some things like maybe a handrail, on the outside steps that I know is going to come up in an inspection, but that's not a big deal. I can leave that. That's not going to scare away a buyer. Or maybe a screen's missing or whatever. Little things that I know about, I will actually leave because I actually want the inspection that the buyer has to find some things. And if I leave them some easy things, they'll grab those things and they won't make an issue. But I don't want them out there, looking and looking and looking and thinking, I gotta find something wrong, I'm gonna keep digging till I do. You do not want that attitude with your inspection. So those are just some ways that you can handle that. Then when your buyer actually is under contract, they order their inspection, you've got no surprises, you know what's there, you've taken care of the big things, you're not gonna scare away your buyer, okay? Really important tip, the last thing you wanna do is lose your buyer over your inspection report, okay? So I hope that was helpful, and this was all about how to successfully pass your inspection from a buyer. I'll see you next time.